Hi there, here we are, the Winging It guys. We're back.
Yeah, welcome to another edition of Winging It. Today we're doing something a little bit different. We're going in to see Donald Quan,
Musician, composer,
and
film producer, film music maker, and
used to run Music Dio. Anyway, we're going to actually visit him in his home, his studio, his home studio, and we're going to be talking about
what he's up to.
What he's up to. So, welcome aboard. We're winging it today with Donald Quan. Okay. All right. So here we are at Donald Quan's hideaway. Hovel.
My space. Let's just say it's my space. I do everything here except mix my final music.
Right. And that Q Studios. Is that called Q Studios?
No, it's called Cool Music. Because
Cool
I'm now
music.
partners with.
Oh, okay. Cool.
My engineer.
Okay. But your studio used to be Q.
My studio used to be Q.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah. And
That's what Wikipedia told me.
It will come back.
Okay.
Right
Yeah.
now, it's on hold, as is many things in my life.
Right on.
As I move forward linearly with some projects, I do like kind of 3 projects at once now instead of like 3. Because that killed me, literally. And so I'm not going to do that now. I tend to live to.
Almost killed you, literally.
Yeah. Well,
Or
legally, it actually did.
you
kill
did.
me.
So you
I
did.
die.
Yeah.
And they put me into an induced coma.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
When they couldn't get my heart
Right.
going.
Right. Yeah.
They got my heart going enough to get me to the hospital.
Okay,
And in the
yeah.
hospital, they immediately induced me into a coma
Yeah.
and said, "This is our only chance."
Yeah.
And without going into
Yeah.
more detail,
Yeah.
I'm back.
Yeah.
I got back.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
It's spent the
Yeah.
past 10 years.
10 years. It's been 10 years since you had a
10
stroke.
years
Yeah.
recovery.
Yeah.
It was slow. It wasn't a big recovery. Oh, you're better. I thought. I celebrate, like I consider myself back, literally now back to where I was. So,
Amazing.
10
Yeah.
years.
I bet that feels good, eh? Feels good to be
So this is a well-timed interview.
a well-timed interview.
Well,
And
the last concert I did here, Healing
Oh, yeah.
My Soul,
Yeah.
through music, that I celebrated then my almost total recovery, but I still had a few things to work on. So that was a few months ago, and now that was my big concert.
so these are posters of some of the shows that you've done soundtrack work for.
If I put my everything up,
Yeah.
it would take up the whole hallway.
I know. I was just reading a bit on Wikipedia, and it went on and on. A very impressive resume.
Well, I have to fix it because
Sure.
now I have to take a whole bunch off because
Yeah.
it's kind of who wants to see
Yeah.
that. So I'm gonna put like 10 things on.
New stuff. So maybe what we'll get you today to talk a bit about some new projects you're working on.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
and then what we'll do is we'll play some of your music as a soundtrack if
Great.
that's okay. And
Perfect.
and you can suggest what you'd like. Okay.
Well, I have just in film. I have 3,000 hours
Holy.
of music out there.
Amazing.
Just in film. That's
Amazing.
just my film music.
Yeah,
That's not the like 15 albums.
Yeah.
Other projects that I've
Yeah.
done that haven't finalized.
So a good starting point might be talking about the difference between when you're composing for a soundtrack. Can we go inside so we can see your cool place? And maybe what we could talk about is the difference between composing for yourself or like a collaborative project you're working on with other musicians, compared to having to match up with the story or images or.
I'm going to make this.
So you recorded the Pro Tools, I'm imagining, eh?
I record Pro Tools? No.
Do you? Oh, you don't? Ah.
My studio, the studio I'm partners with, uses Pro Tools.
Okay, but at home you got your.
As any other studio.
Right,
does.
the industry standard.
But I've worked in a particular program for 30 years. when the Apple Mac first came out, literally the first Apple II computer, not even Mac.
Right. Yes, I remember.
When the Apple II computer came out, I jumped on
The little
bandwagon.
blocks they were.
I
The little
love-
square blocks. Yeah.
I've stuck with that
Okay.
to this day.
Okay.
Because as they developed software, I just learned. So
Right.
I'm a literal expert
Amazing.
on the software. So
Okay.
why would I go back when
Sure.
not only can I do everything on it, but it does things. Thank God, the concept was supporting film.
Okay. Okay. Right on.
So I happened to use the one piece of software that specifically was geared to film scoring the way
Amazing.
film scoring
Right.
fits.
Right.
And for me, because of it, I can sit down now and crank out a film score in like so fast. Like
Yeah.
people
Yeah,
do not believe how
Right.
fast I
Right.
can
You
do it.
just mastered that software as well. Of course, the
And-
composing and.
And then the composing can be done like so fast. Like fast, I mean what takes a month for someone takes me 2 days.
That's
Wow.
amazing. Yeah.
That fast.
Yeah.
And then after the composing is done, if there's going to be real players, then that is just added on to the
Okay.
end
For sure.
for
Yeah.
in terms of time, cost,
Right.
and all that. But up until that point, to get the concept and the score approved by
Mm-hmm.
the producers,
Sure.
that process is very quick to me, and it's my secret. And I wouldn't want producers to really know how fast, but for this purposes,
Yeah.
We hope no producers are watching this.
Yes.
In
You're
the
not
end-
paying for the
Or
amount of
if you are
time.
watching,
You're talking
don't pay
about the
attention to
quality
this.
of your.
yes,
musicality
Yeah,
and-
it's not that much of a secret.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
it's a secret that I'm proud of.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Because
yeah.
I don't waste my time
Yeah.
with stuff that
Yeah.
shouldn't
No.
take time.
For sure.
And
Yeah.
then if I have real musicians, and this
Yeah,
is why you can share with producers, because I don't believe a score is worthy of anything unless it's real live musicians.
Okay, sure.
I became an expert in MIDI scoring.
Mm.
I cleaned up in the business because I did it 5 years before everybody else.
Right. Amazing.
So after my stroke, what mindset that gives me is I hate MIDI scores. I think they're useless.
Mm.
Even if they sound so close to a real orchestra that you wouldn't know, I don't like it.
Okay.
Because I don't believe music has a value unless other people are involved.
So you're talking about like using the arranger keyboard to just play all the instruments.
Way
and,
above
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Just
okay.
talking to the producer,
Okay.
their staff, talking to my friend about it,
Yeah.
hanging out,
Yeah.
getting an idea,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
saying, "Oh, that would be good for this other Like the whole process. What I absolutely hate, is some guy or myself,
Mhm.
and I would have fallen into this, who sits down
Mm-hmm.
in front of their little computer that sounds amazing and everything,
Yeah.
and does everything on there, and they don't even talk to someone else.
Yeah.
In the process.
So you're missing that collaborative process
That's
and
pretty,
the
I'm not
interactive.
saying that someone like that could not get out a good piece of music.
Yeah.
Yes, they can.
Yeah,
They can
yeah,
do
yeah.
the job required. That's fine.
Yeah.
I'm talking about a wider creative thing. How is one supposed to live life
Hmm.
and create when their whole musical world is about
Absolutely.
and
Yeah.
getting the newest
Yeah.
thing?
Yeah.
Every day I get out, I meet with friends, I talk with people. I have a very European sensibility.
There's a
Of
social
life.
dimension to
Dimension.
to creativity for you.
Exactly. You've nailed it in one sentence.
I've learned about a lot of restaurants from Donald on Facebook.
So when you're talking about that part of creating music, that's why
Yeah,
I say
yeah,
I hate stuff.
yeah.
I mean, I love messing around
Yeah,
with the
yeah,
sounds.
yeah,
It's fun for me.
It's fun.
It's
a
like playing
fun
a video
tool,
game.
It's a fun toy.
So you work out the compositions
You
on,
kind of create a
do they call it
draft,
arranger
draft.
keyboards, like where you can play all the instruments, but it's actually scored for.
But the creative
yeah,
part
yeah.
comes
Others
from
too.
life.
Yes,
Right.
yeah.
From
And
the interaction
only,
with others.
yes, and
Yeah.
only
Yeah,
from
yeah,
life.
yeah.
Only from life.
Yeah.
Mhm.
If I just,
Yeah.
for 5 years, I was in my own head. Trust me, I
Yeah,
couldn't talk right. I couldn't
Oh,
talk
man.
to
Yeah,
anybody.
yeah,
I would yell
yeah,
at people
yeah.
inappropriately.
Yeah.
So my social
Yeah,
interactivity in the
yeah.
first 5 years,
Yeah.
that's
Post-stroke,
coming
yeah,
back.
yeah.
I don't want that anymore.
Yeah.
Because I
Yeah.
know being in your own mind, it's being like a crazy person who
Yeah.
has.
Well, you're
severe
kind of
mental
like
issues.
you're trapped in
You're
yourself.
trapped in
Yeah,
there,
yeah,
and you have no idea what reality is.
Yeah.
And that is
Yeah.
why
yeah.
when you draw the line, that is the reason why I don't like sitting there with MIDI. I don't
Yeah.
care how good it
Yeah,
sounds
yeah,
because there is no social interaction.
Yeah, yeah,
And you nailed
yeah.
that.
And
Yeah.
to me, that ties in with your whole recovery process of letting go. Because one of the things you're talking about in creating in a group dynamic, and we know this because we've done several.
Yeah, yeah.
We do several collaborative projects.
Yeah.
This being one, is that you're relinquishing complete control over a creative process. You're involving other people, you're inviting other people and involving them, and you don't know necessarily where it's going to go. You kind of say, okay, here's the groundwork, here might be the foundation, but we don't know what the final building's going to look like because so many people are involved.
No, I have a history of working with control freaks. So in that case, it's not really doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
Right.
And,
Okay.
and the
yeah.
reason why
yeah.
I work with control freaks is because control freaks tend to pay really well for their jobs.
Right.
So over my life, when I get it, the
Yeah.
more you
Yeah,
get
yeah,
paid,
yeah.
usually the more control freak
You have okay. Oh, I see.
you know, someone else has
Yeah,
for
yeah.
what you're doing.
Is overseeing
Really,
the
eh?
work,
And it's
yeah.
not really creative.
Yeah,
And the
yeah.
less kind of
yeah.
money
Yeah,
is
yeah,
involved,
yeah, yeah.
the more creative it tends
Yeah,
to
yeah.
be.
Right.
If there's no
The
money,
more experimental or like the
Yeah.
independent films
well,
and things like that, or not
there's
even
some
that.
crazy people
Yeah.
who have no money and are control freaks.
Okay,
And those
that's
projects
true.
you tend to just stay away
Okay,
from.
Nobody cares.
okay.
Why would you go with someone who's not going to pay
Yeah,
you? It's
yeah.
also going to ruin your,
Yeah.
make
Exactly.
your life hell.
Exactly. And trust me, there
You'll
are,
suck it up for the check, but not just for the sake of sucking it up. Just for the honor of working with somebody.
there are a lot of people out there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
But you know,
yeah. Well, it's kind of like you're working in a crossover between two industries that can be money driven and producer driven and profit driven.
well, you know, I have the same balance in finding
Yeah,
creative
yeah,
projects because the project that have the most control over you are usually the paying.
Okay,
projects.
sure.
Because the more money is involved, the more everybody's on edge about
course,
their
yeah.
job and
Yeah.
what they're doing. The most freeing projects are where there's no money and no one cares.
Right.
The problem is that you can't feed yourself
Right.
on nothing.
You got to make a living.
So you gotta.
So you mix the two, right?
Yeah,
You do.
you
Yeah,
balance it
yeah,
out over
yeah,
time.
yeah.
And in film, it's such a hard industry because of it's kind of like saying I want to be a stock investor. No, I want to invest in real estate. I'm gonna buy real estate. Well, that kind of job, you know, it might take 20 years before you actually see a profit. So you basically work for nothing for like 10 years. That's how I see scoring films.
How are you at balancing these two, the freer versus the I need money, got to make a lot of money?
I'm not good anymore.
Stroke and now post recovery. How would you compare?
Pre-stroke, no problem.
Okay.
Right.
That ability to observe and to choose has taken 10 years to get back.
Yeah. Yeah.
When I made money, I did lots of projects which were free, and I balanced it out.
Right. Right.
And I did work out a system where the paying gigs, what I got from them, not just money, but contacts, people,
Sure.
I
Yeah.
applied to my free gigs.
Right. Of
So
course.
they
Yeah.
got
Yeah.
the benefit.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's kind of, I'm known in town for really helping people. Like saying, I don't want any money, I'll just do it and spend a year on it.
Yeah.
Well, what people don't know and what you're pulling out
Yeah.
of me
Yeah.
is that I actually financed the free work and free projects that might not have turned out to be anything
Right.
with
Of course. Yeah.
the
Yeah. The high paying,
Yeah,
high yielding. Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
And in a simple way,
Yeah.
it's kind of the business model. It's kind of like it's the money that I made from those paying gigs.
Yeah.
Finance 10 times the amount of projects that will never make money.
So you're paying it forward or paying back or whatever.
Yes, exactly.
Now, you're making a lot of money on certain projects, but are you still getting creative satisfaction out of them, or some of them?
Well, here's a
Like,
very-
have you done something where it's like it's a film, a major film, and they paid you a lot of money, but you're actually like, actually, I'm really proud of what I did there. That was really good. That was a really that was a solid project.
well, the one project that encapsulates everything I'm talking about
Mhm.
is Relic Hunter.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. Yeah.
That has bits and pieces of everything you've mentioned.
Mhm.
Amazing.
It wasn't a money gig to start.
Mhm.
It was a zero money gig to start.
Mm.
And the whole, I won't talk about it now, but
Okay.
I could, and I could talk about Relic Hunter specifically for 2 hours. So I
It's
won't
very
do that.
meaningful to you. Yeah.
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 At the end of the day, you can just say, it's the reson why I have this now.
Amazing.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And the way I've been able to keep this,
Right.
even though I lost everything.
Things. So my first knowledge of you was through Museum, and my understanding is that was part of your recovery, where you had all these instruments, and it was a way to.
It became part.
Okay.
It wasn't started as my recovery.
Okay.
Because I had it 5 years.
Oh, you did.
before.
Okay. I thought it had started after the stroke.
My version of Museum
Okay.
started after the stroke.
Oh, okay.
The version
Okay.
of Museum that existed before
Okay.
my stroke
Yeah.
was a vanity project for
Okay.
myself.
Okay.
I lost the money. I hired people that I didn't care whether or not they made money for the store or not.
Okay.
I
Okay.
could care less
Yeah.
because it was a vanity project and
Yeah.
I had extra money.
Yeah. And you had all these amazing instruments you'd collected from around the world.
Yes.
Yeah.
The physical space doesn't look any different
Yeah.
from 10
Okay.
years ago to
Okay.
5 years
Okay.
ago. But the concept,
Yeah.
I went
Yeah.
from a vanity project to a recovery project with the same entity, Museum.
And in my experiences, it had become, for me, one of the best places to come and see live music.
It
With the
was.
concerts,
I
it
know
it
it
was
was.
so amazing.
Yeah.
Mark and I, our band Body in Question, played here. I told you before, part of Neil Wernick's series of electronic and industrial music. And it was just so amazing. It's just like the space itself, the quality of the sound was just awesome.
Yeah, the sound
We
system
play in a lot of
was
bars and stuff where
fantastic.
people talk through it, but people came and they sat and they
And they
it
paid
was-
attention.
They
they
had
paid
to.
attention. They had to.
Imagine
Yeah.
someone
Yeah.
decided to start yakking in the middle of a Museum concert. It doesn't
Well,
work.
and you know what? I think it was the first gig where we got paid. I think, we shared the door, right? I think you gave us each $10, and we ended up going to the Rex and spending it there. But it was so wonderful. It was so wonderful, and
it was a lovely space, and it was very an inclusive environment, right? It was, you felt warm welcome there.
Think about why I did it. It was perfect. Think about it. Think about how
yeah.
well I recovered because I ran those shows. You asked me, how'd you do it? How'd you?
Yeah.
It's because I was recovering, and every day I would be going, I'm getting better. I'm getting better.
Yeah.
That's
I'm
wonderful.
getting better.
Yeah.
And I never screwed up.
Yeah.
The day I started running Museum concerts, I would daily, regularly, just leave my wallet at a restaurant, and that's bad enough, but not remembering until 4 days later
Oh dear.
when I tried
yeah,
to use my
yeah,
wallet again.
yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
That's how bad it was.
Yeah,
At that
yeah,
time, I was running concerts that I could not ever screw up, because these are people's lives. When they come do a concert, they wait for 6 months to do a concert in a museum, and it's like, it's gotta. One time I screwed up, and I have to apologize to the person again. But I screwed up. I didn't write their date down, and they showed up to the thing, and someone else was booked. And it was just really bad.
Oh my gosh.
I got through it, but that was the only time in 900 shows I screwed up.
It's amazing. Oh man.
And so, if you think why I was doing it and getting back my musical abilities, over 3 years, now in 3 years, I almost never played there. Maybe I played twice for 900 shows. So I did not do it as a playing
as a musician
to get back.
Yeah.
This was all about my brain. So it was about booking people, putting their pictures up, and getting out. I did everything. And I don't know if people you remember. I might not have done it so much for you guys.
Well, Neil was doing the.
So
we just talked to Neil.
Entire website for every show.
Amazing.
Like I would literally wake up every day, wake up in the morning and work on a show for like 2 months from now, putting it in their websites. Making websites for them. Like I really recovered because of 900 times I had to do that.
Wow.
And I never screwed up.
Yeah.
That was the most important thing to me, was I could do this as a concept, but if I'm not perfect, if I'm not 100%, I failed in this project, because it's a pretty big reach to say, I can't afford museum anymore, but I'm going to use it for, I didn't know it was going to be for 3 years. I said I'm going to use it at least for a month.
Sure.
To rehabilitate my brain. Turns out it took 3 years.
Took on a life of its own. Everything.
I ran those shows, aside from booking them and running the show.
Yeah.
I ran
the sound tech, and I remember. I mean, it was a very professional operation compared to the places we've played. We've played at a few shows.
Not to downplay some of those venues.
Yeah.
Yes, it was
I
very
know
professional.
that.
It was one of our better, our best.
So to shift gears a little bit, during that time, what was happening for you musically? Were you playing on a daily basis?
No. When as I described, running museum for 900 shows, there was no time to do anything. Anything.
You're learning to operate your brain.
I had still a bit of money for my savings.
Okay.
I mean, I had, wasn't Donald Trump, but I was, I was good.
You were comfortable.
But after 10 years of not being able to do anything, it ran out.
Sure, yeah.
Eventually. That was like 4 years ago.
Right.
When I got this place down here.
Yeah.
Because, trust me, if I had millions of dollars, I would not be living in a place. That's it.
Sure. Yeah.
I'd at least have a place. But, something I would like to add to this whole thing to give people context is that I have a family.
Yes, yeah.
It's not just me.
Yes, yeah. You have 2 girls, is it?
I have twins.
No, but
that's an old picture, but they're 11 now.
Okay, yeah.
I have twins. And they're my family.
Yeah.
But they don't live
with
me. They live in Ontario.
Yeah.
Now, I have 2 lives. As a musician, life number 1 cost me virtually nothing. I've worked it out. Just say that.
Yeah.
But my
with the family.
My real family.
Yeah.
They have to be supported and live a good life. I don't want them to be living in shelter or something.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
So they have a decent, middle stream, regular life.
Yeah.
And that's all I could ask for.
Yeah.
And coming out of my stroke, only one thing mattered to me, not 2. You would think, my career and my family. No. Coming out of my stroke, it's my family.
It's your family.
And now, today, it's my family. I don't care about my career.
Yeah.
I can lose everything. I wouldn't care. As long as my family's okay. I really don't care.
Absolutely.
Because I consider me coming back, it's a gift. It wasn't supposed to happen. I died and I was supposed to stay dead, but something above, some higher power, you call it, made it so I recovered from like, it would be like winning the $60 million lottery twice.
Amazing. Yeah.
That's the odds.
Yeah.
That I actually came back and that my kids are okay and that if you just look at my life, it all seems like it has to be luck. But nobody in the world is that lucky. Nobody in the world will win the 50 million twice, but I did in my
Now, you know, so many people would have gone through what you went through, and at an earlier part or even during the recovery process said, why me? Why is this happening?
Or be bitter, or
the bitterness, and understandably, but why is this happening to me? It's like being struck by lightning. But you've turned this into the most positive experience.
I would like to say it was my doing. And I want people to think it's my doing. But the reality is,
Well, we'll cut off that part because Donald's doing.
No, you can put it because it's part of
yeah.
Think about what happened when I died and was brought back to life. I already won the lottery 3 times at that point.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'll go. And if I go into detail, you go even more. Your jaw will drop.
Right.
Yeah.
Like quickly, the closest emergency hospital was the best cardiac research hospital in the world.
Amazing.
One of the world's best. That's why they were able. I was literally dead. That's why they were able to.
So I wonder. Just wanted to shift things again to what was your experience of music pre and post stroke?
Okay,
do you have a sense of like both playing and listening and perceiving?
This is very, very interesting. I'm glad you asked this question and note this and use this because this is very important because I'm just realizing it now. Before my stroke and after stroke, from a creative, musical, conceptual level, zero change.
It's amazing.
None. I'm exactly the same person I was before the stroke and after the stroke. Deep in my brain, my visions of stuff, there's no lapse. It goes like this, my stroke, it goes like this, And that's the conception of music. So, when I say I lost everything but my creative, unworldly ties. That's what I lost the ability to play. And it wasn't a total loss. It was just really messed up. Like for almost 10 years, for about 8 years, I could not put this finger down at the same time as this finger. So you know, when we do scales, we do 2-handed scales. But I still can't do that. See, if you look at my hands, this goes slower than this hand.
Interesting. Yeah.
And I have to go each one to get them together.
So that's sort of like a muscle coordination thing, right?
Yes.
That's a physical thing.
Yes, so that's what I've struggled with for 10 years.
Right.
It could have been faster, but I didn't have time to practice 8 hours a day.
But your inner creative light, your inner creative vision,
nothing changed.
Is pure continuity.
Pure continuity.
Right.
That's why Musicium was the way it was. The abilities, people didn't know it, and I never played, so people never even heard me. They didn't know me as a musician. They didn't even know I could play.
They knew you as a composer.
They heard of me as a composer. They didn't
more like a business
myself.
Person running
and I was definitely not a musician.
Yeah.
A couple people said, "Hey, you're a musician, right? Won't you play with us?" Like if I was really pushing myself as a musician, I'd be being asked every time, "Oh, can I play with you?" Or
Right.
So now,
I was not a musician for 3 years of music.
Right.
I did not.
But now you're performing. You're
now it's coming back.
Yeah.
So I'm
Composing,
now performing in groups that I would have performed when I was 25 to learn my stuff. Like I'll join a reggae group.
Okay.
Just so I can like
Right.
Right.
or a rock group and
Right.
Yeah.
you
Okay.
know, one of my ideas about 8 years ago was like, hey, I always wanted to play the drums. I'm gonna join a high school rock band as the drummer. I never did,
No.
but that was my way of thinking.
Yeah.
So I have to go through the process to reconnect all that stuff.
Yes.
And the only thing that doesn't work is my timing.
Mm-hmm.
My left brain goes at a different pacing
Interesting.
as
Yeah.
my right
Okay.
brain.
Right.
So I literally
Right.
cannot. The fastest I can play two hands together is like this. If I go like this,
Yeah.
if you time it, you'll see this hand's going faster than that hand, and I can't put them together.
So something about the harmonizing of left and right
So-
brain.
Look at my
and-
hand.
So
Yeah.
ballads,
This-
slow adagio kind of pieces.
Exactly.
Or you can play lead or bass, but not both.
I fully appreciate that as someone who can't do an arpeggio to save my life.
But
Yeah.
what hasn't changed is my
That inner light.
understanding of the music.
Right.
Yeah.
So if I'm playing in a blues band or a reggae band, I know exactly what sound and how to do it.
Right. Yeah.
But I can't actually do it sometimes
Yeah.
until recently. Now my timing is pretty good. It's pretty groovy. It's not like before where, when someone's timing is
yeah.
so good, they play
Yeah.
for like 4
Yeah,
bars and you're going, oh, that's so good, right? Just because the timing is good. So I'm working on that.
So in terms of your own music, so I read somewhere once that Miles Davis developed that really kind of slow atmospheric style because he couldn't play fast like the other guys, right? The bebop guys were like phenomenal, Dizzy Gillespie, and he just said, I'm just going to play slowly. And he created a whole genre of music, right? That cool
Dave
kind of...
Brubeck supposedly, now I can't remember at what point in his career, but he was in some kind of an accident or something happened to him where he couldn't, and he was recovering, and his hands couldn't play quickly anymore, and he was playing mostly block chords for a period. And I don't know if that was like for the rest of his life or what. And I think I saw him at least twice. He of course was still brilliant, but it obviously limited what he was able to do.
Yes.
And yet he was still, of course, able to play within those limitations brilliantly. So how does that impact you? Like, it sounds like what you're saying is that, okay, these are the limits. I'm still trying to expand those limits gradually, but while I'm within those limits, the inner light's coming out.
Yeah.
The feel for the music's still there, and it's coming through.
Exactly. In my brain, it's still there, right?
Well, and I think in the audience's brain, it's still there because we're hearing it, and people are hearing it, and they think it's
only
amazing.
if I'm good at editing what I play.
Right.
If I tried to play everything I wanted to play, that audience is going to hear me like, that's fucked up.
Right.
But I'm on top of it.
Okay, right.
If I know this is not going to work out, I tend not to try it.
Not
Right.
to attempt it.
So what you get is very similar to that Miles story, where that story is perfect, and the brilliance of him is that he might say that, but he's never going to play something that he can't pull off. It's going to
Exactly,
sound
yeah.
terrible.
That's right,
But
yeah.
His brain knows how to edit that. and
Yes,
that's what
exactly.
I do.
Right, yeah.
I might want to go blah, 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 and do a jazz riff, but I know it's not. I'm not going to be able to
It's
do
not
it.
there right now. Right.
The piece needs that, but I'm not going to do it. So I'm just going to do it.
Right.
Just like my singing.
Yeah.
It never was great, but it was reasonable.
Right.
I could sing on demos and
Right,
people wouldn't question it.
You
so,
could- yeah.
so now I did my concert in Sound. I said, I want to sing. I said, okay. That's pretty brave considering
Wow.
what I've been through.
Yeah.
So when I was doing it, I was singing it so basic. I would sing a line, and if I forgot or if I did, I wouldn't try it anymore. It's supposed to improvise because it would just go, it would just sound. So I just like made a version of the song which is really simple and barely singing, but people were fine with it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to listen to it because it has to be in context.
Right.
Of
Yes.
the
Of
whole
course.
show
Okay. Yes.
For
Yeah.
it to be okay.
Yes. Yeah.
If
yeah.
I just
Yeah.
snip that song and send it, say, "Hey, here's my new single,"
yeah.
people would go, "What the?"
Yeah. Yeah.
But
well, and this is when you were talking about how music it was helping to recovery, right?
this is one of my big concerts.
Yes. Yeah.
That I was
Yeah.
like, this finally I get to tell a big
Yeah,
audience,
yeah.
200 people, but a big audience of my story and play music and to demonstrate what I'm talking about.
And when was that?
May.
That was in May.
Yeah,
So you
yeah.
had a concert, and where was it?
Owen
It's an on
So you
sound.
have a concert in Owen Sound. You've been going through the recovery, and this was a recovery concert. Like it was devoted to
Yes.
the recovery.
Because a friend
Mhm.
who had come to Museum much like you around
Yeah,
the same time
yeah.
had
Mhm.
seen concerts there,
Mhm.
and he knew of my story.
Right.
So in the town, Owen Sound, there was a new brain injury hospital opening up, multi-million dollar,
Right.
$50
Right.
million
Yeah.
dollar,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
see. Right.
hospital opening up, and they wanted to, and
I see your
and my
connection.
friend was a concert promoter,
Right.
Okay.
but he
yeah.
never promotes concerts in Toronto,
Right.
just in Owen Sound.
Right. Right.
So he contacted me. He said, "I love what you did in Museum, and I heard your story. Do you want to be the main
Yeah, yeah.
first concert for the opening of this
Yeah.
new
It's amazing.
brain injury hospital?"
You know,
so
there,
that's
there
what
are
it was.
there are musicians who kind of they peak, or I shouldn't say just say musicians. Any creative person in their area of creativity, they peak. They've sort of reached the top of their game. They can't push the limits any further. There's no more room to learn, and sometimes they give up because of that, right?
Mhm.
Because they feel like, well, there's nothing more to learn here. I'll
Yeah.
either pick up a new instrument and try that, or I will just start building houses or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
But you're in a situation where you probably hadn't yet peaked, and now you were brought back to ground zero and are building back up again. And like, do you think you're getting? I mean, forget just getting back to where you were, going beyond that. Maybe I should reframe this a bit. In your recovery, have you actually gone beyond where you were before in any areas?
Yeah, just in my life. So
Mentally, I guess.
It sounds like spiritually,
Yeah,
emotionally.
spiritually. see.
But I mean, in terms of your creativity, have you, in a film score or in your music production? I never tried this before. I didn't try this 11 years ago, and it's working and it's great.
This is a totally reasonable question if one were talking to someone who was an actual die-hard from birth musician
Mhm.
that wanted to just get better till the day they died.
Right.
Right.
Yes. Yeah.
It's just they
I
see
don't
this.
think it's so much as a progress or better, but I'm doing things now that I hadn't done before.
Well, that's certainly the case.
That's what
but
I'm
it's not
asking.
because the first half of my life I was like on a ramp like this at getting a
Right.
better musician.
Right.
From the day I started playing piano, I could care less at how good I was.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have, I never practiced the scales. I would practice like the 5 easy ones and then literally never look at the other ones again.
Yeah.
And a real musician, someone born
Would
wanting
play
to be a
those
musician,
scales for
would
hours.
work it out.
Of course.
And some people do that for 80 years and
Sure.
they're like, fuck, this is
Yeah.
like-
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I am not that
Yeah,
musician.
yeah.
Right.
Because I've never taken it that seriously to be a musician.
Right.
I never really wanted to be a musician as a person.
Right.
As a vocation, yes. As a hobby, yes. But I am not one of those people.
Yet it's been your career.
I happen to be able to fake it
Yeah.
enough
Yeah.
to get
Yeah.
into these little
Yeah.
things and
Yeah.
not always screw it up.
Yeah.
I can get in there
Yeah.
and
You fake it till you make it, and
Exactly.
man, you've made it many
exactly.
times.
And
Yeah.
there's one thing I know I'm good at. I'm good at using the talent that I have, the knowledge that I have, and the social smarts I have, and using that to get through life.
Yeah, what can we look forward to in your next ventures? Or
Okay.
your upcoming ventures?
Or do you have something coming up?
Yes. Yeah. I want to set it up though, because now in my life now, I live life literally daily. I only have foresight when it comes to other people. So if I'm working on someone else's project, I take that into consideration. Because I'm always trying to be good to other people first before I'm good to even myself. So every project I'm doing, I'm choosing less projects, but I'm trying to put everything into them. So at this stage in life, I have to, no matter how much we're all like this, like no matter how much I want to think that I'm 20 years old, I'm my age, I'm 57. So there are some things I'm, I might look a little younger, but I don't play like a 57-year-old that's been playing since they were 15 years old. I have a lot of friends who are like,
Oh yeah.
so I know,
Like,
so after recovering now, I consider myself recovered. So I'm 57. So it's like, okay, I'm 57. I'm gonna try to do something new. That's, most people roll their eyes at that age. Like, someone's in the newspaper because they're getting their university degree at 57 years old. That's a big deal.
Yeah.
But it's a big deal because most people at my age don't do what I do. And so I have limitations because of my age. So what I'm doing, and this is where my special way of thinking comes, I'm not going to try to do it myself. I'm going to make projects with younger people.
brilliant.
And let them do all the hard stuff, and I'll just, give my my brain, put my brain to it. And I found this one person that I've figured out I would like to get behind and be my project, and in doing so, she gets an opportunity of a lifetime.
Wow.
Yeah. I mentioned Miles earlier, and Miles was brilliant because he'd do the same. We'd always tap into what the new, he did hip hop stuff. He got on with the fusion. No. It's about that's the energy of what's happening now, right?
Yeah,
it's rather than just playing in a blues revival band, at Hughes Room or something. It's like it's thinking forward and what's the current of.
So simply, the way I work with her is that say, whatever you want. So whatever you want, but I will tell you if I think it's screwed up.
Right.
From my 40 years.
So are you
of experience,
producing and kind of
except the creative.
Right.
She's brilliant. I've identified someone who's a genius that doesn't even know it.
It's amazing. Yeah.
She again, it just takes us back to what I was saying at the beginning. In your recovery and in your current journey creatively, you have been. It's all been about letting go and looking to others.
And obviously
and
giving
with
giving back.
Yes.
Giving and giving back.
So just
Donald,
what kind of.
you're a gift to this city.
Yeah. And thanks for talking with us.
You're
We'll
a
just
gift
wrap.
to this country.
Yeah.
And you're a gift to the musical community.
And your
So
generosity
let's do
for.
stuff like that, like once in a while, just once in a while, that somebody out there, just like the girl I'm producing, it's like she just needs one person to tell her what has been in her head for 10 years that nobody else has seen.
Yeah.
All right.
And
Well,
give her a
we're
chance.
hoping this video will.
I'm hoping that you're doing the same for me as I'm
We'll
doing
do
for
what
them.
we can.
Yeah.
We'll do what we
Well,
can.
hopefully people will watch this and go, if they don't know about you already, it's like,
They're gonna
who is
be
this?
watching
Who is
more,
this
and they're
mad
gonna be looking out
genius?
for you.
And we haven't even touched on my
Right.
other passion, which is
Yeah.
equal to music at this moment. It's cooking.
I was gonna say food. Maybe we'll come back and do another one.
That's
We'll
a
do the
whole-
second cooking.
So that's a whole nother.